Religious chants echo through the Black Mountains of Montenegro. The Serbian Orthodox Church has called on the faithful to take to the streets to protest against a new law that it says threatens its property rights. Twice a week, huge crowds gather in the town of BIJELO, POLJE.
In northern Montenegro, Orthodox believers march down from their mountain villages to protest against the new church law. What's behind the demonstrations? Let's find out.
We won't give away our sacred places, the protesters shout. Under the new law, religious groups unable to provide evidence of ownership risk losing it to the state. The dispute has its roots in history, but this is also about Serbian identity.
The Serbs know a lot about suffering, but never before did we feel such shame and betrayal as this one we are living through right now. Because of this new law, I give you my word, my grave will be a Serbian grave.
Elections are coming up in Montenegro. Religion is getting mixed up with politics. Radical groups are taking stock. Radovan Rakojevich is a hardcore football fan. He loves Red Star Belgrade. A Serbian flag hangs on his wardrobe. His room is painted in the colours of the Serbian club. Rakojevich is active in a political party fighting for Serbian Montenegrin unionism.
I'm active on social networks. I discuss with friends and people I know. I call them by phone to invite them to take part in our protest marches.
The police have an eye on Rakojevich and his friends. They turn the religious protest march into a political statement about Serbian identity. The crowd takes up the radical slogans.
I feel blessed, full of prayer, impossible to express my feelings. You have to walk with our people to feel the strength of unity.
Rakojevich founded a local branch of the St. Sava Society. Back in the 19th century, this Belgrade-based organisation fought for Serbian identity across the region, linking religious feelings with political moves for a greater Serbia. We asked the local priest if demonstrations will continue.
Of course, we will go on marching and protesting if the law is not cancelled or at least modified in its main points regarding our church.
The origins of this conflict are deeply rooted in the past. We are on the road to CETINJE, the former capital of the old Kingdom of Montenegro.
The famous monastery of CETINJE is claimed by two rival Orthodox churches. Today it's the official headquarters of the Serbian Orthodox Church. But the Montenegrin Orthodox Church wants the building back. We're invited to the home of Metropolitan MIHAILO. He and his church are not recognized. In 1920, the Serbian Orthodox Church swallowed up its Montenegrin neighbors.
A lot of money is injected into Montenegro from outside to make those protest marches possible. The Serbs living in Serbia have contacts with the Serbs living in Montenegro, and they want to get Montenegro back, and also to control the Orthodox Church in Montenegro, as they did back in 1920.
We drive to Ostrog, one of Montenegro's most stunning monasteries. The government says it wants to clarify who owns what, and the new law invites religious communities to register their properties. The state claims ownership of cultural heritage sites, such as churches, but grants communities their use.
Freedom of religion is under threat. The property rights of our church are threatened. Our holy places are threatened. Our legal status is threatened. We do not want to lose those rights we have acquired over 800 years. Those rights were not in danger until now. For us, the implementation of Article 62 of this new law would mean that our church properties could be confiscated, and all our property would be owned by the state.
In December, pro-Serbian opposition forces tried to disrupt the vote on the controversial law. Police intervened and 18 deputies were detained. We met the minister in charge of the new church law.
Do you see a danger that your state, Montenegro, is destabilized from outside the country?
Each day, and more often, you hear political slogans during the protests. People are shouting, "Serbia, Kosovo, Serbia, Kosovo." The aim is obvious. It's about destabilizing Montenegro and to put in doubt the statehood of Montenegro. Russia and Serbia were against our independence and against the integration of Montenegro into NATO. Their fight to destabilize Montenegro continues. They want to show that this state cannot exist. The religious feelings of the population are manipulated. We do not want to take away someone's church to give it to someone else.
During the Kingdom of Montenegro, it was the state that had official ownership of religious buildings and the land they were built on, but at the same time granting the use of the property to the church. Today's new law wants the same.
This is an official letter from 1884. One of the priests of the Piva monastery and Metropolitan Mitrofan Ban asked the Ministry of Church Affairs for permission to rent parts of the monastery's land in order to make some money because the monastery was in bad shape. This document therefore shows the governmental control of economic church affairs, and it shows how the state and the Montenegrin Orthodox Church were respecting each other.
We catch up again with Radovan Rakojevich. The police questioned him a few days ago on suspicion of painting these Serbian flags, an accusation he denies. But what he's sure of is that Serbian identity is under threat.
After the referendum on the independence of Montenegro, discrimination started against us. The usual things, easy to explain because of the Serbian people having voted 100% for state unity of Montenegro with Serbia.
European institutions are calling on Montenegro and the Orthodox Church to solve this conflict through dialogue. But travelling across Montenegro shows that fear and hate are still alive.
This is Serbia, death to Montenegro. Traveling through Montenegro's mountains, you can still read such graffiti. HANS VON DER BRELIE reporting from Montenegro for Euronews.